Oh boy, this video might be a little bit longer in the making. Got some furniture to build today. The FedEx guy was here a few minutes ago. I don't know if he's still here. I can't tell. But we do have a new desk. It's a Gazebo full standing desk. It's the first desk that I've ever had that has the little like little button on it. Let's go see if what else came in, shall we? Ooh, 2 big boxes. That's probably my whiteboard. Oh, by the way, while I'm out here, I'm really upset about it, but look what I did to my wheel. Can you believe that? Whoever decided it was a good idea to put 30-degree angled parking spots at Chick-fil-A, curse you. I don't know why I can't park in those. Like it's one of those things where it's like it's so simple and so easy, but I screw it up every time. I can park in any other kind of parking spot, but those angled ones in that car, oh, what do we got here? That's not mine. That probably is mine. It is. All right, so we got 2 big boxes here. All right, you sit right here. I'm gonna go grab those boxes. I'll be right back. 1 big box. 2 big boxes. Oh. It's a whiteboard, and I'm really excited about it. I think these are my markers for the whiteboard. You know what I should have done? This is a bad idea. I'm going to drop my camera. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, but I am going to drop the mail. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Hi. You're so sweet. What are you doing? What doing? Huh? Box number 1. I don't know where I'm gonna build this. Box number 2. Last box. Let's get to opening things. Let's do it. I still don't really know where this furniture is gonna go yet. Just some dry erase markers, nothing fancy. Not a sponsored video, but you know, whiteboard markers. I probably could. Oh yeah. Alright, I guess it's time for the time lapse. So I don't know if you guys can see that there, but I'll go ahead and just a special message for you guys. Now that we got the whiteboard all done, now it's time to do the desk. Here we go. Whoosh. We finally finished this desk. Good Lord. We finally finished the desk, so let's see if it works. All right, the desk where it's so high up there. Watch this. Hold on. Ready? Let's go! How cool is that, dude? I'm so stoked. Let's go! Okay. Oh boy, this video might be a little bit longer in the making. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh god. Oof. So I realize this is probably like, what is it? 3 days, I guess. Of me putting the stuff together. Like, I'm obviously like wearing a different outfit. Shout out to my boy. But I wanted to finish up this little studio update situation, and basically kind of have a bigger conversation about it in terms of like why having a studio is really important, no matter the size, shape, or whatever, or what equipment you have. Just having a studio, and what does that mean? What is a studio? What does it look like? I think people's imaginations usually run wild. They think of, the biggest and best studios that they can think of, like Hollywood or, a big YouTuber, whatever. But for me, just to give you guys, I guess, a little bit of background, and some of you may have known this, some of you may not, my studio is actually just in my parents' basement. You can see the unfinished walls and framing and that sort of thing, and then behind me you can see a bunch of gear and lights and whatever else, and that's kind of what I wanted this video to originally be, was be more about the concept of having a studio and why it was important as someone who likes to create things. And yeah, that's kind of where we are now. This basement for me started out as just this little cubby over here. You can see my workbench, which may look familiar to some of you if you're returning. My seamless backdrop paper, which was a huge upgrade. I used to actually sit against this wall for a long time, and had a black like tarp situation there. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just a basement. I usually just use this little spot, but I've since kind of upgraded, if you will. I have recycled some old furniture, because it's a basement. It's my parents' basement, so we got lots of furniture and couches and stuff to reuse. And so now I have like a little loungy area with a coffee table and a TV and some super jerry-rigged lights. I'm pretty sure they're hanging by like, let's see. Don't mind me stepping on my coffee table here. I'm pretty sure they're hanging by like a single screw up there. And mind you, these lights are Amazon special. Okay, I bought these probably 7 years ago when I used to stream a lot on Twitch. There's the third one. It came in a pack of all 3 soft lights. You probably can still buy it on Amazon. It came with like a green screen and a little like stand and all that jazz. And I used to use it when I was streaming, and I still use them to this day. So the problem I had was every time I wanted to film something, I had to use my workbench, which is, again, you guys have seen the workbench. It's usually where I sit to film videos. And once I started to have to, work on that same desk with my laptop and my second monitor, all this stuff, it got really hard to film, because if I wanted to film something, I would basically have to dismantle my entire desk in order to film. And it just sucked all the energy out of my body. I'd be like, oh, I have this cool idea. I want to film whatever it was, pictures, video, anything. And I'd get down here and immediately look at my workbench and be like, oh, shoot. I got to like unplug everything. I got to take everything off, and then I got to find somewhere to put it, right? Because this area here wasn't cleared out yet. It wasn't cleared out. It was still full of junk. So it was like, where am I supposed to put my laptop? Where am I supposed to put my second monitor? Where am I supposed to put my everything else, right? Well, as you can see, like, I've got several tables in this basement. I've got one right there, which is kind of like my product table. I got one over here, which is like my gear table. I've got the workbench. I've got this other miscellaneous table, and then I've got this now, desk to work on. And so that was kind of one of the big upgrades was getting a desk that is specifically just for me to work on when it comes to meetings and emails and all that, boring stuff, editing, whatever. That all now takes place on this new desk, which I probably already showed the time lapse of me building it. And what the cool thing about this desk is I've always wanted a standing desk for such a long time. Something got in the way and it wouldn't let it lift. Is it good now? Anyway, so now I can have a standing desk when I want it, or I can put it in a sitting position when I need it, and that's me on the screen. I'm actually editing this video as I'm talking to you about it. The other thing that I got that I thought would be really helpful is a whiteboard. Yes, a whiteboard on wheels. There's a bunch of stuff on this whiteboard that I can't show you, but I have been using it, and it's been very helpful so far. It is double-sided. It's got wheels, and here's some of the videos that I'm working on. You can see Studio, I don't know if you can see that, Studio Update video. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so I basically figured I'd upgrade my little work from home situation so that now when I want to film, I can just simply go over here where my paper and stuff is and just film. I can wheel the desk around as I would like, and I guess I can turn this light back on here. So the nice thing now is that I can be sitting at my desk answering emails, whatever, but then when I'm ready to actually film something, I can grab the workbench here. When I'm ready to film something, right, I can just turn my chair around or move my chair out of the way and grab this workbench, which is also on wheels, and I can just wheel this to wherever I need it. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of light stands and my, teleprompter and stuff is in the way, but I'm still working on it. Once all these lights and things are put away, the idea is that I have this whole section, this whole open space here with the workbench on wheels to be able to just kind of move it around, right? So if I want to do a podcast here, I could do a podcast here against the backdrop paper. If I want to do a product review, I can set it up like I used to. Or if I just want to move it all together and review a bigger product like a chair or a whiteboard or whatever, I can do bigger products now, because before I was kind of restricted to whatever would fit on this workbench, which I learned my lesson in the Cooler Master case video, where the cases were just very big and hard to unbox on the desk. So in the future, it might make more sense, now that I have this extra space, to either A, don't even use the workbench at all to unbox them, or B, I can actually move the workbench further out from the backdrop so that I have a little more space to work with. But in general, it was really important for me to be able to have some extra space for myself. And in a space, and I've used that word like 50 times, in a space that is already pretty restricted. But yeah, so those are the upgrades I've done to the studio so far, quote unquote studio. I keep saying quote unquote studio. That's the whole point of this video, is to talk about what a studio is. So this is my studio. Here it is from a different perspective. Like I said, you can see that's usually where I sit and do all my work. And then over there is kind of like my little lounge area, some other gear and a tripod and some other, junk. But the fact of the matter is, when I'm done working or whatever, or while I'm working, I can watch TV, I can watch YouTube, whatever I want. And then if I need to, I can come over here and I can sit down on the couch now and relax. And I can't stress this enough. So this is probably the part of the video where it's more about the philosophy of having a studio, I guess, as someone who's a creative, an artist. Having a studio, no matter what it is, whether it's your bedroom, your closet, your basement, an actual building, whatever it is, right? A studio, to me, is just a place where you feel comfortable being creative. And that may not make sense to everybody, but if you've tried to make videos before, if you're a musician, if you're an illustrator, any sort of artist, that it can be very difficult to be creative or like come up with your best ideas when you're in a busy place, whether that's like your living room, or I don't know, your office, your kitchen, whatever, like any location that isn't truly yours. I guess if you live by yourself in your own house, your own apartment, maybe that's different. But in this case, living with my family, or if you have roommates, or if you're sharing a space with somebody in close proximity, it can be very difficult to let loose and make your best work. So for me, moving everything down here and transforming this, what was unusable space, into something usable has completely changed my mentality and has allowed me to relax and take a load off, if you will, because living at my parents' right now for the third time, and that's a different story for a different day, so make sure to get subscribed if you're interested in hearing about that. Moving back for like the second or third time now, I don't have like my own space, and at 26 years old, like I need that space, right? Like I've lived on my own several times. I'm used to having that space, and especially as you get older, like you as an adult, it's more and more necessary. And so having a studio, or what I consider, a studio, is extremely important. Not only for like my mental health and an ability for me to sort of have my alone time that isn't just like in a bedroom. And no, that's not intended to be like weird or dirty. Just if I want to watch a movie, for example, right? If I just want to like hang out and watch a movie, I can't. There's nowhere for me to go. Like I could go to my room, which by the way, my room now is the guest room. I no longer have my childhood bedroom, so I'm in the guest room. And the room is really small. It just has my bed in it. So it's like, if I just want to casually watch a movie or a show or watch some YouTube, I have to lay in bed. And that's weird, because sometimes in the middle of the day, I don't want to go upstairs and lay in bed. That's weird. Or if I want to have someone over, right? If I want to have a friend over or whatever, I can't do that because they either have to hang out in the family room with my family or go in my bedroom. And those are two very strange places. So having a space down here where not only can I be creative, get my work done, film, but also a section of that place can be for me to unwind, to relax, to think, to watch movies, content, have people over, whatever the case is invaluable. And I can't stress enough how it doesn't matter where that place is. Wherever you feel most comfortable creating is your studio. And that studio may change over time physically, right? Like you may get a building, you may get a bigger space, you may buy your own house and have a room dedicated. But at the end of the day, your studio really never changes, right? Like I think people kind of overlook that. Like physically, your studio may change, right? You may make more space, you may have more equipment, you may have, more purposeful use for what you're doing with your studio. But at the end of the day, your studio is still your place. It's your place to be creative. It's your place to be comfortable. It's your place to, create. And that sounds really elementary and like really simple. But I think there's probably a lot of people out there that, even like working from home, it's like the same philosophy where you need that separation. You need the separation. Like I think people are learning that like going to the office, as much as it sucked, it seemed like it sucked, not going to the office and bringing all of that work tension, that work stress, those work conversations, that work atmosphere, and bringing it into your home can have some pretty dramatic effects. It can make you feel very strange, and it can make you have difficulties separating, your personal life from your work life. So the same goes for a studio, right? A studio is supposed to be a place where, you're comfortable. You are able to think freely and flow, whatever. It is a place for work, but that's where things get tricky because in order for your work to do well, in order for you to do your best work, you need to be relaxed. You need to be in the zone. You need to be put in the right environment to create the ideas in which your art is built from. And I think that's why there's this stigma, or there's this like thing about like the starving artist, right? Because like art is, for lack of a better term, hard to understand. You either get it or you don't. And some, you might be you might be interested in some things, but not in others, and whatever. I'm going on really, really long. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that this video was supposed to be just kind of like, oh, upgrading my studio update, studio tour. But I wanted to kind of clarify that, because what you see in my videos, the end results and some of the shots that I've gotten, undoubtedly look really cool, right? Like, I don't think anyone could disagree that some of the stuff that I've captured in this space are really cool. They look good. They're lit well. It doesn't look like a basement. And I think the amount of times that I have told people or shown them that I'm literally in my parents' unfinished basement, sitting on a couch that's older than I am, to film these things, I think is really shocking to them. And they're like, whoa, what? That doesn't look like that. So this video is kind of two-piece. One, I have finally upgraded my studio to include a place to relax, as well as a place to get work done. And it has freed me up the space to be able to film more without the stress of having to take things apart. That's one of my big goals, is getting my studio in a place where I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time I want to film something. If I want to film a top-down shot, I can just, turn it on, film a top-down shot. If I want to do a talking head, I can do that. If I want to film at my desk, I can do that. I don't have to dismantle everything. I don't have to unplug all the lights, move them around. I don't have to move the desks around. I don't have to unplug my laptop, pack it up, move it away, take my monitor down, sit it on the concrete floor. These are all things that get very annoying after a while, but you have to do it sometimes. And so yeah, I mean, it's more rewarding to me. It's more special to me to have this space the way it is now than it was 3 weeks ago. So anyway, that's super long drawn out. Also, I am going to try. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to try. I just am going to start uploading more frequently, more candid stuff like this, where I don't know if I'd say vlog, but more just conversational pieces, things that cross my mind that I think are interesting, or things that I think maybe other people need to hear. And I think I'm just going to start uploading them and just see where it goes. The tech stuff will continue to go. So if you love the tech review stuff and you like the other fun stuff that I've been doing, there's still plenty of that. But to fill the gaps in between, right? I want to be able to upload more than once a week, and be more consistent about it. And I also just want to cover topics that I think are, more interesting, because yeah, story for a different day. I could sit here all night and tell you the whole thing, but I think that's what makes this fun and exciting, is like, this is just like part one. So if you're interested in this sort of thing and you feel a similar way, stick around, maybe see where it goes, who knows. Otherwise, if you're just here for the tech, then you can stay for the tech. You can dodge these ones if you want, but like I said, we'll see where it goes. Anyway, I think I covered everything. So I got a lot of work to do for the rest of this week. So this is the only time I'm going to be able to record this. And probably, if you're seeing this, that means that I stayed up all night to edit it. So you're welcome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.